Hey guys, it's Bree. Welcome back to another video. So I recently have been doing a lot of sketching and just have so many ideas of sewing projects I want to do, and I really do want to try to just sew something daily or just do some kind of like action that's helping me strengthen my skills and push me forward towards like what I want to do as a fashion designer. So every day I just really want to do something that I know is beneficial towards my future self, and that involves me sewing more. And I know that if I do that, I will get better with my skills, strengthen my pattern making skills, strengthen my drawing skills, strengthen my skills as a fashion designer. So yeah, today I want to make something simple just so that I don't get too overwhelmed. I feel like whenever I do projects, sometimes I get overwhelmed because I don't plan ahead, or I take on projects that I know might need more planning than I want to do in the moment. So today I'm going to make something very simple and do a tote bag DIY. I went thrifting a while ago and I bought these jeans. I actually did another video with these jeans where I made it into a denim skirt and it had like a slit in the front. So I wanted to use the remainder of this fabric because honestly I have so much fabric that I haven't used, and throughout this year I really want to just find little small projects that I can use the fabric that I have so it's not just going to waste. So today I'm going to use this leg of the fabric to make a tote bag, and probably some details of this cut up leg as well. So without further ado, I'm gonna get straight into the video. This should not be long at all. This is honestly is probably gonna take me like a couple hours, not even, to make. But if you want to join me in my little DIY video I'm about to do, just get some scrap fabric or any fabric that you want to use to make this tote bag and follow along, and you'll have the cutest tote bag at the end of this. If you want to see more videos where I do DIY sewing tutorials, sewing advice videos, self-development, all those kind of fun things, definitely subscribe and share my video with anyone else who you know loves fashion, sewing, or self-love content. So the first thing that I usually do for my projects is make a mood board. I'm trying to get back in the swing of doing these because I honestly love making mood boards, but I was really looking for a cute denim purse that could give me some inspo of what I was trying to make. Recently I've really been liking ruffles and just like ruffly gathered kind of looks, so I wanted to make a purse that replicated that. After I made my mood board, I then started sketching, and I'm trying to also get better at sketching, which I also have talked about before, but I really just made like a few rough sketches of some ideas of purses that I could make, and after maybe about like 30 minutes or an hour, then I finally came to the design that I want to make, which was this one. I then made basically like a measurement sheet that just has all the measurements of the length, width, depth of the pieces that I'm going to be cutting out, just so I know how long, how wide I want my purse to be, and also how wide I want that ruffle part to be for the front flap of the dress or of the skirt. I then laid out the jeans just so that I could see what I'm working with, and honestly I realized I actually don't have that much to work with, so Later in this video, you'll actually see how I ended up having to improvise a little bit, but we're gonna keep it pushing for now. So the first thing I did was take off the belt waistband part of the jeans because I knew I wanted to use that for the strap, and that was really easy. I really just cut it, and then there were some parts that were attached by the belt loops, so I just seam ripped the belt loops off. After I cut everything and seam ripped what I needed to, these were all the pieces that I have for the purse, and I was ready to start sewing. Before anything though, I did have to change all my thread because I was recently working with red thread. So I just changed my bobbin thread and my main thread, I guess you would call it, my base thread to black since I'm going to be using black. I don't know why, but every time I change my bobbin or change my thread, I just find it so therapeutic. So enjoy this clip of me changing my bobbin and changing my thread on my machine. So the first thing that I did was I hemmed the raw edges of the ruffle part that I was going to be using for the flap of the skirt. I wanted to do that because I would have a clean finish. And also, which I will probably mention later on in this video, I realized how I forgot how hard it is sometimes to work with sewing denim, and I didn't necessarily have the proper needles I should have had, so you will see that throughout this video of how I was struggling a little bit. But yeah, I just hemmed the raw edges first for the ruffle part of the purse. I then switched over to my serger, and honestly this is where it got sort of not great. I changed all my thread first to black, and then I did try serging, but then I realized, yeah, it's just not going to work out. I think that I need a heavier serger machine because I do remember when I was in college, it wasn't like hard at all for me to serge heavy fabrics. So I think it just has to do with the fact that this serger just isn't an industrial serger overlock machine or whatever. So I think if I want to be able to serge like heavier fabrics, I have to invest in a heavier machine that's like better for like heavier materials when it comes to overlock stitching. So I figured that out very fast. I was not trying to break my needle, so I decided to just straight stitch everything on my regular machine. After coming to that conclusion, I finally could start sewing everything. So I sewed these two rectangles together, which are basically the width of this purse. So this piece is going to lay in between the two pieces of the purse, the front piece and the back piece of the skirt of the purse. I don't know why I keep wanting to say skirt or dress. I think it's because I'm so used to making skirt and dresses. But no, the purse. So I sewed this together so that the strip is a lot longer. And then I will be sewing this piece to the front and the back piece of the purse. After that, I hemmed around the raw edges at the top of the purse so that that was just basically clean and finished and done. I then sewed the two pieces I was going to use for the ruffle together so that it's a long strip because I had them in two separate strips. So I sewed those two together so it's just one long strip that I could make into a ruffle. But then as you see, I realized that my machine cannot handle this right now. I do not have the right thread or the right needles that I should have had, and that's on me. So I ended up having to improvise, and I made sort of like a mock ruffle where I just did little pleats so that it looks like it's ruffled. Honestly, it's not that cute. So we're probably gonna end up coming back to this kind of DIY when I can get better needles and figure out the best way to do the ruffle. But for now, this is what it turned out to be. After taking so much time putting this front piece on the purse, I finally finished that part, and all I really had to do was just sew the strap on, which was super simple. It was just sewing on the side seams of the purse so that I could wear the purse easily. I made it pretty long so it wasn't super short of a strap, but after that I was finished, and now here's the final reveal. So it didn't come out exactly like how my drawing was, and I'm probably going to end up trying to make this kind of purse again, like how the original drawing was. So stay tuned for that video. I'm just proud of myself for at least pushing through and getting it done, even if it didn't come exactly how I wanted it to. And also just wanted to continue to remind you guys that it's okay if you make mistakes in sewing. It'll only help you for your future projects to know what not to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Hope you guys stay tuned next week for the next one. And if you like fashion, sewing, self-love kind of videos, definitely subscribe and share with anyone else who you know likes this kind of content. See you guys next week and enjoy your weekend. Bye!